Hi, and welcome to First Aid for Exhausted Empaths. This is a short class to support you, and I imagine you're here because you are highly sensitive, you know that you're neurodivergent, or you have a suspicion that you have some of the neurodivergent characteristics, that you're emotionally and energetic empathic, and you've always been that way, or all of the above. All of those qualities are part of your identity, and you feel that the world's really exhausting. You get easily impacted by other people's pain and the pain of the world. And you're just feeling like it's hard to enjoy life. It's hard to share what you want to share with people and support others. It's hard to support yourself at the moment. So this little class is going to be broken into 3 parts. The first one is about our sensory sensitivities and what might be needed from a practical perspective to get clearer on what you need to limit, what you need to receive in forms of comfort, and how you need to orientate your awareness of what you need more inwards and less out into the world. The second part of this chat will be to do with the simple message of slowing down. And the third part will be to assist you with some ideas and strategies for getting out of your head, because a lot of those of us who are neurodivergent, I am a self-realized autistic person. We use our clever minds a lot to try to problem solve up here in the head brain, and we are served greatly when we come out of the head brain into the body, which also has brains. So let's get started. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you get some really beautiful tips and support from this little class. So the first thing that I feel would be really beneficial for those of us who are highly sensitive is to do a bit of a sensory audit and get a lot clearer about what our limits are when it comes to sensory inputs. So how much are you watching? How much are you listening to? How much socializing are you doing? How many phone calls, text messages, emails are you engaging in every day or every week? And is it going to be possible for you to pull back a bit, even if it comes down to simple changes like driving in the car with nothing on the radio, no podcast playing, no music, and even if you have someone with you, maybe no chit chat, just driving in silence for periods of time. We tend to stuff our lives full of stimulation these days because it's so accessible, and we want to learn, particularly those of us who have these interested brains. We're good at learning. We have got a lot of curiosity. We just want to absorb. And the opportunities to do that are infinite. You know they are. You've got podcasts, you've got YouTube videos, you've got blogs you want to read, you've got books, Netflix series, whatever it is, whether it be pure entertainment or learning or growth, there's too much going on. And what this does is it overloads the nervous system. So by doing a sensory audit, this is going to help you to get clearer about how you feel when you overload yourself with information and entertainment, and how it feels if you contrast that with pulling some stuff out and having more silence in your life. And this isn't necessarily about going and meditating. It's just cooking a meal in silence, eating breakfast in silence without reading anything, having less time with the screen in front of us, choosing in every moment, what do I need right now, and being able to connect well enough that you know you've had enough for today and that you need some sensory space. So knowing our own limits is really important, and that definitely extends to socializing, supporting other people, either professionally or in our personal relationships. If you don't have capacity, I'm saying it a bit firmly, but if you don't have capacity, say no, or say, I'm really tired, or I haven't got any social energy. Like, actually give people this literacy that we all can start using. I'm all out of social capacity right now. I haven't got any energy to socialize. So you can pull out of things, you can pull back, you can rest more, do less. The reason for all of this is that you will have a better life, you will have better health, better sleep, better relationships with the people that really matter, and a better connection to yourself if you're not overstimulated and overwhelmed with data. I know it's hard to believe, and it's like an addiction for a lot of us. So it takes time and it takes real commitment to remember to pull back, remember to turn things off and bathe in some silence. So the second part of this piece around our sensory needs is making sure you know what comforts you and gravitate towards things that are comforting and joyful. I'm going to give you two examples of what's happening right here in the room right now. I'm sitting on, this is just an office chair, but I'm sitting on this beautiful raw wool weaving that a beautiful person made for me. And it doesn't smell so sheepy anymore, but when we first got it, it literally smelled like a sheep because it's raw wool. It hasn't been coloured. It's been cleaned, but it hasn't been coloured or treated. And for me, this is really comforting to sit on and be able to touch. I also grabbed, because I was a bit cool, our weather's suddenly changed here and we're going into proper autumn. I was feeling a bit cool, so I grabbed this pashmina that I've literally had for 17 years. It's old. I know how old it is because our daughter was not quite 2 when I got it, and she's 19 going on 20. And I'm wearing a comforting thing around my neck. This is a little wooden ankh, symbol of life from Egyptian times. And I will grab things off my little rack of necklaces of crystals, of just chains, different sorts of things. I'll just be attracted to a particular thing or nothing. Sometimes we'll have absolutely nothing. But to put something like this on, it's very light. I think it's walnut wood. It just, for some reason today, it felt comforting to have that. So basic things like dress comfortably, feel fabrics that you like. I've got water here. My chair is okay. The lighting is okay. It's not too bright. We are sensitive in so many ways, and we get to choose what we surround ourselves with. You don't have to be uncomfortable, and you don't have to deny your needs to be a good person, which is what you might have believed in the past because of what survival felt like when you were a kid, which leads me to the next part of sensory auditing and sensory awareness, and that is reorientating ourselves, as I was saying a moment ago, to our own needs first. That is your first port of call, not how is everybody else. This takes a lot of practice and it takes a lot of unraveling of coping mechanisms from early childhood. A lot of people who grew up in neurodivergent households or households where there was conflict or mental health issues or stress, grief, illness. A lot of children who are sensitive made hypotheses at a very young age, possibly 2 or 3 years old, of if I behave in certain ways, the adults behave in ways that I can manage their karma. And so a child makes it their job to become responsible for the adults in the family. The adults aren't necessarily to blame. There's a dynamic going on where the adults could probably be doing a better job of caring for themselves and caring for the child. the plain fact of the matter is sensitive little humans will create their own mental concepts at a very young age in order to have safety. So if you saw chaos, you will be good and calm and compliant and controlled. It's not always the way it goes, but this is very common for sensitive female children. In order to keep things on an even keel. So you'll believe, which is not even true, but you will have believed if I'm good, they'll be happier. So we need to undo that now, because not only was that not always true or as meaningful as we thought it was, we might have made a bit of difference by not being naughty or demanding or emotional or showing anything that was emotion. But overall, we have to hand the responsibility back to those people and maybe tell our little one it wasn't our job. It was definitely not our job. So let's move on. This is not supposed to be long. You will realise by looking at this video, this is how I work. It's very organic, but I will keep a structure in this particular presentation. So let's move on to this second part, which is the slowing down. We need to do less. We need to sleep more, potentially. A lot of us who are sensitive, we need 8 to 9 hours a night or have naps in the day if our nighttime sleep isn't typical of a lot of other people. So you might actually be a night owl. And if you are, and you have to get up at a certain time because of demands in your life, then you might need to nap. Sleep makes a huge amount of difference to resetting the nervous system and allowing us to feel that we can cope better. So getting sleep, allowing ourselves to understand our own body clock. So if you're a slow waker, I take ages to wake up in the morning. And even though I get up and walk my dog first thing, and that is just a walk, I'm not running or anything, I have physical energy. I don't have mental awareness or mental energy first thing in the morning. So my best day, if I'm seeing clients, is I don't see a client until 9:30 or 10 o'clock. And I would rather be busier in the afternoon. I actually get a burst of energy at around about 4 o'clock, I've noticed. So I haven't even learned that about myself until quite recently. So knowing when we've got our peak times of performance in a day, in a week, in a month, if you're cycling with menstrual cycles, then you might be aware that in the week of your period and in the week leading up to your period, you have lower capacity for social contact and emotional support for others. You might have energy for creative projects. You might have energy for spending more time on your own and doing healing and growth. And you might even have physical energy, but it might not be social or emotional energy. In your middle weeks of your cycle, week 2 and 3, around the ovulation in the middle, that might be a more energized and outward focused energy that you can apply. So the basic message in our culture is we all need to do less because we all think we have to do far more than what is realistic and helpful. And those of us who fit these categories of highly sensitive, autistic, neurodivergent, highly empathic, we burn out more easily than other people do, and we get more physical illnesses. So we need to look after ourselves even more carefully than the average neurotypical person or the person who just seems to be able to handle modern life. If you know you can't handle modern life, it's okay. You are special in other ways and you have brilliance in ways that I'd love to support you with. So the final part of our session today is getting out of our heads and into our bodies and into our connection with Mother Earth. And what that could look like is going outside every day and putting your bare feet on the ground, actually talking within your head or heart to Mother Earth and saying, hi, good morning, thank you, I'm here. Thank you for looking after me. Thank you for taking away any energy that I don't need. Thank you for supporting me, allowing me to receive energy through the soles of my feet every day, and for nurturing and protecting me. Mother Earth is a really important ally for all humans, and it's about time we connected on a personal level with her as a meditation or a prayer or a invocation every day. Would be a beautiful thing to add in. The body is another whole piece, and in my coaching program, which is about to start running soon, named Sensitive is Powerful, we go into a lot of detail on connecting to the body and what that can look like and how we can maintain our body connection all the time. It's essentially about remembering we have a body and it is our friend, it is an ally, and understanding that the energetic information we get from the body, which is felt often in the center, either sort of here, the solar plexus, in the gut, even up high in the high heart. These are the areas of the body that we can bring attention to moment by moment, bring ourselves back, come back in here, back in here. I've trained myself over a 15-year period to come back again and again because I'm a big overthinker. I'm a very analytical person, very intellectual, love thinking, love talking, love listening, love reading. And when you integrate that clever brain up here with the clever body, you're unstoppable. I'm going to finish up there. I hope you found this mini session really valuable and helpful. If you would like to get in touch with me, you can send me a message in Instagram. I'm in there. You can send me an email via my website. And I would love for you, if you've resonated with this content, I would love for you to join my women's program, Sensitive is Powerful. And it's a 7-week journey. And it runs every few months. So whenever you're listening to this, you'll have an opportunity to learn more about it and potentially enroll. Many blessings and thank you for being with me.